So, yes, he's fastidious, but is he furious? Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and I am not alone. I've got my good friend Fastidious here. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. Been a long time. There was a moment where we were collabing multiple times a month, so it's really good to be doing this again and to be chatting.
Yeah, it's almost like
me.
you figured out how to make your own content now and don't need to like drag other people on, you know. But
Actually, I think it's kind of the opposite. I think not that. I leaned on people so hard when I was getting my channel started. And when I came back to Raid, I started feeling bad. I was like, how many times can I ask you and Cole Red and HWZ? I'm like, I think I hit double digits on collabs with certain people, and I'm like, probably I should do my own stuff more often.
yeah, you know what? It's all fun. It's all good. And honestly, I think during the summer when things kind of slow down, the collabs tend to slow down too. And of course, we got all kinds of fun stuff picking up here. But for those of you that don't know, Fastidious started Raid content, about 2 weeks after I started the free-to-play, give or take, somewhere around there. You're around day 150, 155, or not 150, 250, 255 on your account at the moment somewhere?
A really good question. I think I'm like 230, I want to say.
Wow. Okay.
I'm on an alt account for referral right now, so I can't check the exact day. I'm like, I think almost 8 months.
Yeah. Have you gotten what's his name? Grush the Mangler yet or no?
No, but I just pulled him.
Okay. You just pulled Grush, then you're 200, you're 240 plus. So your next step is visit.
I mean, I pulled him.
Oh, okay.
Like from an ancient.
Yeah, no, he's a guaranteed one too, so not a bad champion either. But which actually kind of leads into what we're talking about at some point here too, because we've been playing for similar lengths, and I've certainly been doing the free-to-play. He's been doing a balling out of budget type of account, so he's certainly been spending a bit more, had access to a couple more champions. But we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the great champions that we have dealt with, but it's not necessarily great as much as champions that have done more for us than we kind of expected they might. They've been better for us than we expected, and that doesn't mean that we didn't think they were going to be good in the first place, but in many cases these are champions that were absolutely amazing. We're leaning on them a lot. They're doing things that's like, wow, I expected this guy to do, you know, some damage here, not like carry my entire team through Hydra type damage and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of a fun way to look at some of these champions, especially considering that oftentimes the ones that surprise you are not the ones that you go in saying that dude is going to absolutely change my account. Like I know you've got Nave, for example. You know, she probably didn't surprise you. She's probably as good as you expected, if not better. You know, maybe even a little bit better. I don't know.
No, she was on my list. I thought she'd be great, but I got her the when she went live. I got her when she was introduced to the game, her first raid up ever, and we can just do it as an honorable mention. I read her kit. It sounds crazy, but she's so much stronger than you would ever think.
Oh, so this is one of your first pick. You know, I forced you into this. Let's go for it, or whatever.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I will say she is bugged. The passive is for sure bugged, but it works most of the time. Just some content, certain things just won't trigger it. I've still been trying to figure out exactly what doesn't trigger it, but for a lot of content, it always gets triggered when it should get triggered. This thing has no cooldown. The rest of the kit is insanely good, and I knew this would be amazing and it would help me, but I use Neve literally everywhere. Like there's not a single piece of content, unless I just don't need her, but I could use her, and at some point probably have used her in every single piece of content in the game. As someone who got her as not a free to play, but you know, I've got my strict budget, so I'm like what some people would call dolphin, what other people would call a very light spender. It all depends on your perspective. I spend $150 exactly every month, and I think I got her, maybe you would remember better. By the way, I checked today, 136 is my 236 is my account. So maybe I got her on day 80 or something. She's the only Void Legendary on my account that isn't free, or like that you earn, and she is it's beyond, like she even hits hard. The A2 is very good, and when you're manualing with her in arena, she shocks people because I think people don't know her kit well because she's so new, and it was just I lucked into it. She's only like the 4th Void Legendary I've ever pulled, and I originally started playing Raid in like 2019 across all these different accounts. I've never had good Void luck, and she's the best I've ever had by a lot. Maybe her and Warlord, I guess, but for progression, she's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, she basically instantly solved your Nightmare Clan boss or Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, I'm sure. You know, that was, you know, ally protection's already amazing. Block debuffs is great. Block damage thing is so busted everywhere in the game. It's just great. And the only thing I could think of with this being bugged is maybe it doesn't work on things like burn procs and stuff like that, where she's not directly affected.
No, it's like, for example, like it doesn't work in Iron Twins consistently.
Weird.
I still use her in Iron Twins because she does trigger it sometimes, but consistently you'll see it drop under 50 and it doesn't get triggered. I think maybe it's like a hit quantity thing, or maybe certain kind of hits, or I haven't been able to
Yeah.
figure it out, and I use her every day. So
Mhm.
I think if it was obvious, I could have figured it out. But yeah, I mean, TLDR, the shields are so big. It's crazy. It scales off of her defense. She's like Valkyrie. And I run her in reflex.
Mhm.
Even back when my reflex is pretty good now, like I do a good amount of farming, but like not anything crazy. Even when it was bad, it was still insane. I think she's got to be one of the most no-brainer book champions in all of Raid. She's 9 books. Every single thing gives crazy value.
Yep.
Maybe you could argue against the A1, but if you just build her with 200 accuracy, which is so easy in modern Raid, that used to be something you had to go out of your way for. I've accidentally built her with like 270 accuracy or something. This is very often irresistible, but sometimes it isn't. If you have a little accuracy, this is going to hit like 80% of the time or something. It's absurd. Like it's crazy. She's so good.
Yeah. So, and that's great, and that's the thing too. It's like the kit reads good, and there's a reason that people like Cruisin are just fawning over getting her on his account. You know, that type of stuff too. But even without this stuff, I know there was somebody I was actually going to do a clan boss takeover for, and then he pulled me, and it was like, I guess I don't need to do the clan boss takeover for you anymore, do I? Because you just throw her in there. You don't have it doing anything either. Not quite related because I haven't had a chance to use this dude yet, but Emic has a similar level of fun stuff to him too, if you've ever seen this dude or not.
Yeah,
and I got
he seems
him.
great.
He's my first pulled Void legendary on this account, and I was initially a little like, oh man, and then I realized, oh crap, no, this guy is so good, so much utility for him too. They do similar things for similar content, but not the same way, which makes them both interesting too. So,
Yeah.
all right, so for me, who do I want to talk about? We're going to go with an epic, actually, on mine. One of the ones that really, really surprised me with how good this dude is. And Skaramis has been absolutely amazing on my account. I don't know if you've had a chance to fool around with the Skaramis yet or not.
I don't have him, but I did a video with 2 very different creators, but either Madcap or Ash, like one of my first weeks with the new channel, and they gave a huge shout out to him. So that's my knowledge, is breaking it down,
Oh, yeah.
however many moons ago that was. But yeah.
Yeah, so he's got an AoE provoke, 100% chance, 3-turn cooldown, which is one of the best epic provokes in the game, with a counterattack on him and some continuous heal. Got an AoE that does buff strip as well as decrease attack, which is absolutely amazing. Does damage based on HP, so you're already going to build him tanky anyway, so that gets him some extra damage. And then has a chance of stealing turn meter and stunning on the A1, which of course he's counterattacking on after he's provoked you. So he provokes you, you attack him, you stun somebody. So he is absolutely great for the wave control. And what I didn't think he was going to be as good with, because this is only a 3-turn cooldown for a single turn provoke, he's been amazing in my brutal Hydra team as the mischief tank. So I built him with high resistance in that team, and I took him, I thought he was going to be person I was going to put in the lower level of Hydra, but he was better than Taragi as a provoker in Hydra, significantly better than Taragi. And Taragi's a goat, so, you know, that's high praise.
That is high praise.
So
I know it's a really clean kit. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
I think you can't underrate a 100% chance if it's not weak hitting on a 3-turn cooldown for those provokes. That's wild.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, basically this provoke and the fact that he's continuing healing himself as an HP based champion too. So he's basically not taking a ton of damage, and then of course you're dropping attack with it as well. Yeah, he basically keeps himself mostly alive, and if you have Arbiter, him, you can pretty much solo the rest of Faction Wars hard with those two, because it's just an easy carry. So that's pretty much what I did.
Sweet.
All right, so let's let you actually pick your first one. I guess your second one here, but
yeah. So this when you told me this prompt, was the ultimate no-brainer. It's the only one that I think completely hit your vision. And then you said you had the same idea. So I think you know who I'm gonna say if you go to the dwarves. I knew Thawne would be good.
Oh yeah.
I had no shred of an idea he could be this good. He is like I bring him into almost every piece of content. You know, there's certain affinity things and there's certain, you know, stuff where I'd maybe want someone that I built maybe a little tankier and stuff. But I've since day one, I've run him in my best relentless DPS gear, and all he does is deal damage. Like it's unbelievable. I gotta say, the thing that surprised me the most is got to be the A3. This hits like a single target hit. It hits so well against bosses, and you proc so many extra turns from this. You know, between having him in relentless, and then his little like every 5 turn thing, and then
Yep.
his little extra mechanisms. I mean, he's truly remarkable. I was so team Alice, and I'll still use Alice as like a secondary DPS for a lot of stuff. I got Alice like that event was ending right when my account was starting, kind of like your free to play
Hmm.
account. And yeah, Thalen's just completely and utterly blown me away. I was worried the damage wouldn't be good enough. I think there's probably an argument that like the absolute pinnacle high end, he might just start falling off, but I don't think I'm getting there anytime soon. He's a king. He's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I love him. I use him a lot in like Doom Tower boss content because he does have this thing where they can't get criticaled. So yeah, that doesn't reduce the damage that much, but it basically means that I don't get the lucky one shot, which is easy to get on a nuker. 15% chance to get one shot by a boss. Well, he doesn't have that, so that's great. And the fact that the Corrupted Alliance, so that's actually really useful for Arena as well. I'll use
So
mine in
useful.
Arena.
That's the other thing I wanted to say. I think I think the against this faction this happens, against these 4 factions, that's this line in the gallery this happens. I think we all ignore that for the
Mhm.
most part, wouldn't you say? Or a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's usually not relevant, but not
Here
with
it
him.
really is, because these are kind of like the arena factions, a lot of them, right? Like the Corrupt Alliance, like what is it? It's like that's
It's
the undead
undead, demon
hordes, that's the night
spawn,
revenants.
night
I
revs.
mean,
Yeah.
demon spawn. I mean, it's so many of the nasty guys. It's so much. Yeah, it's like the only character where I'm constantly like, oh, good, we can definitely take them. Like I think he's incredible, and also the weekend. I mean, because he's gonna spam that move so frequently, it does land a lot. Another opportunity for extra turns, and then another opportunity for relentless procs. And I
Mhm.
know a lot of people don't build him that way, but for me, I just can't get over. Like he'll consistently take 3 or 4 turns in a row. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got mine in like I think mine's in Savage or Lethal, and he just absolutely smacked. I have done over 1 million damage with this double hitter against a decapitated head on Brutal.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Not in the one hit, but in the double hit combined, adding up to over 500k per hit with that double hitter there. And then yeah, that stacks up over a long fight. Get him a ton of extra attack too, and that's kind of why I love him in Hydra as well. What I generally use mine for is he's built very arena focused and he's built very boss killer focused, and I think that that's kind of been the best way for me to deal with him. That said, compared to him and Alice, the lockout from Alice, I still think kind of means I lean a little more on her in PvP versus him, just because that lockout is still so strong. But honestly, it depends probably on the affinity of what I'm bringing, whether I'm bringing
That
Tholen or I'm bringing Alice.
that's how I do
But
it too. But he's in my default team, I will
yep.
say. But yeah, I do still use Alice a ton. Yeah, really, really cool unit. Who I thought the ceiling on him would be far lower than it turned out to be, damage wise. Really
Yeah.
cool.
All right. So I'm going to go with, for my second pick here, one of my newer champions on this account, but I actually was really impressed with how much value she continues to bring in the modern game, and that is Valkyrie. Valkyrie basically took a clan boss team I had that would occasionally 2-key, mostly 3-key, and just building her and dropping her in there, I don't think I had her quite fully booked, solidified the 2-key on 2 of the 3 affinities, and I am within 3 million damage of 2-keying on Force as well with her. The shields are still wonderful, but it wasn't just that she brought me in with Clan Boss. Obviously, Clan Boss very important, but she let me get all the way from Fire Knight Hard nothing to Fire Knight Hard 6. That counterattack is so
Yeah. Wow.
good. I already had a Cryoden as well, so I had somebody that could bring some additional freezes. I actually used Alice in that team as well, and yeah, Valkyrie's shields keep everyone alive so they're not dying, and Valkyrie's counterattacks means that basically once he hits me, I've got almost half the shield down before I even start taking a turn to get the shield down, which gives me enough extra damage to power through that shield and do some damage to eventually whittle him down without an ally attacker.
Yeah, she's amazing. I had Valkyrie on my first account ever, and this would have been like I probably pulled her beginning 20. It was one of the first 10x's they ever did. That used to
Mhm.
like not be a thing. I think they maybe did like Dracomorph, and then I think maybe the next one or one of the most recent ones after that was Valkyrie. And obviously back then she was like rated #1 on a lot of tier lists, and
Oh yeah.
I remember leaning on her so hard. I mean, I mentioned her at the start of the video because her shields were always to me like the most special shields. Those shields that scale off the defense. It's more of a thing now, right? Like I
Mhm.
said, Neve has it. Freya has it, I think. I'm sure
Yep.
there are other characters I don't know. But it's so impressive. And I gotta say, it's kind of funny to hear that like what you said is like a really interesting, nuanced modern take, but there was a time where it'd be funny that you'd say like, this character surprised me, the best character in the game, but that just shows you how far rates come in like 6 years plus,
Yeah, and
7
I
years.
mean, and that's not to mention, I don't think I've actually really tapped her full potential in Arena, because it's with
Sure.
Arena
Yeah,
where I'm
for
at,
sure.
this is super disruptive, that passive there. It's just super annoying.
I went up against a Valkyrie in live arena a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, and I totally forgot about the passive, and I couldn't. At first I couldn't understand what was even happening to my team, and then it all clicked, and I was like,
Mhm.
this is so manipulative and awful, and I hate this.
Yep. All right. So you got 2 left. Let's see what you got.
Sure. We'll do my number one epic. And I feel like he's a good guy to plug if we go to the orcs, the Tagore.
Oh, yeah.
People hyped him up. He's been on every link I've ever had. I'm not trying to plug my link here or anything, but the reason I mention that is because I've always gotten to choose certain ones I want to keep as I've changed it month over month. And before, when I was getting my link, everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna be really excited you got him," because everyone kind of has him, or a lot of people have him on their link, right? So he's one of my guys, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's probably gonna be like a pretty cool carry for a while." And he really impressed me. Like he helped me with like my Dragon 20. I got so much faster than I ever thought, like day 24 or whatever. Which yeah, as like an
Mhm.
OG raid player was like unthinkable. And then he was in my clan boss team forever, and this and this, and I'm like, that's really cool. He really was good. Everyone was right. And like here I am now on day 236 with like tons of legendaries, a decent pay to win account, and I still use him constantly. I use him in arena still. I use him always in tag team arena. I use him in most of my dungeons. Like I guess I've been a little limited on who I've gotten for increased speed, so that's partially the reason. But the rest of the kit brings so much additional utility. Like just to shout out, I've had a lot of good luck with supports on my account. So just to shout out a few, like I have Glaycad, I have Pythion.
Mm.
Oh my God, I have Neve, obviously. I have some other like really high end guys, right? Like
Oh,
I have
yeah.
Elva, like some of the better supports in the game, and I'm still opting for Tagore for so much content. As like a mini pay to win with my ball on the budget stuff. I've got him in very good bolster gear. It's actually the Tagore set is my best bolster set, and that's what I move around now that we finally have the free movement of gear.
Mhm.
And it's really remarkable how hard a carry he was, but yet still continues to be. He's on so many of my default things. I'll say the only thing I've outgrown him on is I used to use him in arena a ton, and now I'd say it's very selective when I bring him in arena. Outside of that, I mean, I'll lean heavier on Glaycad specifically in the way I run my clan boss team. But for a 2 key, it was the steadiest thing ever. It's just for the 1 key that I moved away from him. I think he's remarkable. I think he's worth every bit of
Mhm.
hype. I
Yeah, and
actually
it's
kind
just
of want to sit down. Sorry.
yeah, no, and it's just a matter of he does just enough in every little area to be really, really good in it. And it's one of these things where I can't tell you where he's great. He's just really good at a lot of stuff. And I think that
Yeah.
that does a lot of work for an epic when you just don't have a lot of other champions. And when you do, the fact that he's still doing a lot lets him sit in a lot of teams that you might not be able to keep otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's really well put. I don't think any one of his skills is so good, but he checks so many boxes. The passive is so good.
Hmm.
Reducing your damage incoming, like that's the only time that's really matters if you're not getting one shot. It's when your health's low already, and that's just like the fifth best thing in his kit, right? I think it's really cool. I honestly think if his A1's a little whatever. If this was even like a 6 out of 10 A1, I think he's a full legendary at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's really phenomenal. But I was just the last thing I was gonna say, and what I was mentioning before is I've kind of wanted to sit down and rank all the epics. I don't have like the endless knowledge of every epic because there's so many in the
Mhm.
game now. But I really wonder where he would come out in terms of if you're looking at like a whole broad view in the game. He's so good.
Yeah, he's and it's usable early game, usable end game, usable in epic only content easily, and yeah, there's certain things. It's like if you need a better healer, then you might lean towards a Rector, or if you need a better reviver, there's other champions you might lean towards. But oftentimes, well, I need a healer, I need a reviver, I need increased speed. Well, he covers all three of those and throws a shield in there as well.
Yeah,
Boom.
exactly.
you know, nice and easy. Yeah, I love this dude. I mean, when I got Syl, I mean, I built Syl because I think Syl's absolutely amazing, and she's not underrated in any way, shape, or form, so she's not going to show up in this video. But Syl replaced Tagore in a lot of content for me, but not every piece of content. In a couple places, I actually couldn't replace Syl or Tagore with Syl because it actually became less reliable for whatever reason, despite the fact that her healing was better than Tagore's, just because of everything else Tagore brought.
It's the A3. It's like
Mhm.
the A3 is so juicy. Like a 5 turn AoE res with those juicy shields. It's just like
Mhm.
it's such a it catches all your potential RNG bad moments and failures. That's what I find. He's so
Yeah,
good.
and the only thing that, and it's one of these things too, it's like part of me thinks this would be better if you couldn't trigger this when people weren't dead. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I also think that that's part of the charm of him because that means this is always still throwing a shield up there regularly too. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like if you don't need the revive, then he becomes a good shield champion, which there's nothing to be sneeze about that at all. That's actually still useful. So
Also, he's such a good candidate if you don't want to run him in a bolster or a shield set. He's so good in something like a relentless, just to keep
mhm.
spamming those moves and to keep it cycling. Really good unit.
Yep. So this is going to feel really weird to say this guy was underrated, and I did not expect this. But Fabian, for me,
Mhm.
continues to surprise me more than I ever expected. And it sounds so weird to say this because this guy was absolutely busted, and I said he was absolutely busted. I know you said he was absolutely busted, and I'm sure you're still leaning on this dude heavily on your account. But
Yeah,
what I go
I'd
ahead.
say I'm with you, but I thought he'd be the most broken character on my account, and he's succeeded at that.
Yeah.
He's
I
so
didn't
good.
necessarily, well, I figured he would be really good. Where he surprised me and where I still use him to this day is when Doom Tower, the wave content gets too tough for me normally, he goes in as my lead and it slows the thing down because he's not necessarily speeding it back up. But he is so good at locking out absolutely everything that the enemy gets, basically less than 50% of their turns actually go off, and they only get A1s when they actually do go off because that is how good he is at locking everybody out. Against bosses. I mean, heck, this is, not for this count, but on my main, Fabian is the reason I was able to beat hard 21 undead because of his A1. Literally, I just, A1, A1, A1. Oh, I need to cleanse that particular debuff off. Cleanse it off. A1, 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 A1. The cleanse is great. The lockout is great. The fears are great. The fact that he can't get locked out is great. The fact that he brings an everywhere speed aura is great. The fact that he steals turn meter on this particular ability is great. It's just absolutely amazing. And yeah, I knew he was going to be busted for PvP. I didn't think he would be as good as he is in PvE content. And while I avoid using him whenever I can, just from a speed perspective, when I need the lockout, or I know I'm going to struggle because I don't think I can actually beat the content with the champions just straight up, well, then I bring Fabian in and he just locks everybody out and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think I came at it from I was because I got him. He was like my first fusion.
Mm-hmm.
So like having been away from the game for years, and I was never an arena guy. So of course I read the kit and I'm like, this sounds great for arena, but that's kind of where I left it. It wasn't until I did a collab with Cruisen where he really dove deep into like he's not just going to be great at arena. He's not just going to be amazing. He's going to be like meta defining and annoying for
Mm-hmm.
a very, very long time, which obviously was the case. I had already been thinking only PvE. I'm like, how's anyone going to get a turn? And I guess the best anecdote I would say, or the best example, which you kind of touched on, is I've never, not once in the history of my account, gotten stuck on a wave stage, like on a not boss stage. I'm sure, not to say my account's so good, I'm sure there are harder stages, but I would get stuck on a boss before I reach those. Now I can clear all the towers. But it's the ultimate cheat code. They don't get to go. It doesn't matter how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
Build them with 300 speed and you're done. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you worry about like the Rotos floors, for example, where you have Siffy that can revive everyone and the Rotos will just maul you. Well, he'll lock out Siffy, lock out both Rotoses so they can only A1, so
Yeah.
there's a good chance they won't nuke you if they get that turn. And yeah, you can't control them at that point in time, but that's where his turn meter still comes in then too.
Yeah.
It's just
Especially
absolutely.
if you bring one other unit for turn meter control too, like a deacon or something,
Hmm.
and then so like when they get a chance, they get petrified and then they stay petrified because you keep controlling their turn meter. It's pretty wild.
Yep. So, all right. I think last one for you.
I think this is my last one. I'll be really fast. This is someone I was high on, and I was very happy to be right, and he even wowed me a little more. I'm gonna go with Grokos Turndrake. I was
Ooh.
lucky to get a very, very easy champ chase where I won him. Like I think I don't want to be like cocky or something. It's just like this is honestly is one of my big complaints about raid. It's like I had a friend who pulled 20,000 plus points going for him and didn't get him, and I got him with like I think 5,500 points or something ridiculous.
Hmm.
But I was lucky to get him. And then I had already picked up his soul in a random champ training where I was so easy. So I had a really juicy one, and he's just so good. He's what I expected. I was like, he's kind of Ugo plus for a lot of content, and that's what he is. He was really cheap to book. Actually, you probably have the number in front of you. I'm still looking for the guy.
Yep.
I think it's 2, yeah, 5, So yeah, what it comes
Yeah, you don't need to
11.
bother booking the A1.
Yeah, and
He does need 5 on the A2, but he only needs 2 on that A3.
yeah, I got pretty lucky. I think I only hit 1 or 2 on the A1, so I got him for 8 or 9, and it's just really, really, really good. He hits a little bit hard, which is a nice push if you're using him in any wave-based content, but I mostly use him against bosses. I use him in Hydra, and I use him in my Chimera, and he to me, he feels like Ugo plus. He gives me a little juicy healing with that A1. I build him with a huge amount of HP. For that kind of boss content at my level, he
Mhm.
doesn't need that much accuracy, so I get him super fast and cycling. You got the decreased defense up, you got the block buffs when you need it, and then that block damage is much better than I thought. So that's kind of why I picked him. I was like,
Mhm.
one turn block damage, is that cool? It it comes through half the time, probably is what it feels like. 3 turn cooldown is kind of awesome. So yeah, do I wish it probably would be stronger if this was a 4 turn cooldown, but the block damage lasted 2 turns. But if you build him fast enough and you get him going, I think it's a worthy-ish trade-off. Whereas I thought it would just be a non-factor, and it's
Mhm.
consistently been a factor. And the last thing I'll just say in his praise is I kind of needed increased defense on my account when I got him, and having that on a 3 turn cooldown on a unit who already had such an insanely powerful A2 was like the final thing that elevated him beyond what I expected. And I really
Yeah.
like using him. I really like him.
I think the only thing that might have made him slightly better is if he was a defense-based champion with this increased defense, because then he's buffing his
Yeah.
own damage, and I think that might have turned him from an okay-ish damage dealer. Obviously, he's certainly better than Ugo damage, but not like amazing, amazing. But it's extra damage into something a little bit better, because then he can up his damage by that 60% with that defense, and that would have been maybe. But then again, he might have. Well, I guess he wouldn't have been too broken, because obviously he's still a 1 turn cooldown on that. But yeah, he is really, really good. And I actually was hoping to get him in a couple of places on the free to play, and I just never could manage to get him, because I thought that even this thing, maybe I could figure out a way to make him a clan boss champion and figure out how to get this block damage. It probably wouldn't have worked, and that's fine. But yeah, he is so good, and I haven't used him much on my main, but obviously my main, I've got a plethora of champions, but I do have him, and I certainly do want to play with him at some point in time. It's actually great to hear that you are really loving this dude.
Yeah, he's more of the 4 I named, he's the one I use the least, but I use him in 2 really important places, right? I use him on one of
Mhm.
my Hydra teams, my second Hydra team, and I use him in Chimera. So that's been pretty cool. I also want to quickly say for anyone that wants, if anyone wants to fact check me, I realized I totally got him from flipping the cards. That's how I got him.
Mhm.
The thing I got lucky with is whenever I won his 5-star soul, I think that had to be the champ
That's what
chase.
it was.
That
Yeah,
must have
that
been chase.
makes sense.
That was like dirt. That was dirt cheap. I guess people were like, it's just a soul, and I think it was before the cards. So people were like not even knowing if they were going to get him. So people didn't go for it. And I didn't even go for him. It just was, my group was a joke.
All right, so looks like I've got one more to go, and I'm gonna go with a weird one as well. I actually
Oh,
like,
wow.
is it Iudex or Ludex? I've never figured this
I
out. Is that
say Udex. Like I figured
okay?
it was like Latin style, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's supposed to be an I, because if that's an L, it should be like the level L right there. So I think it's Udex. So yeah, Udex would
Yeah.
make some sense. But
Yeah.
I know this guy came in like a wet fart, I guess, kind of for a lot of people, because he just was not.
They hyped him so much,
Oh yeah,
right?
and to be fair, I still think his kit is flawed a little bit, particularly because I think that this 25% speed aura in arena really should have been a 20 for 19% in all battles.
Yeah.
And I think that he would have been absolutely amazing for everybody, because the rest of his kit feels more PvE focused than PvP. But on an account where I don't have, I have Arbiter, I have Sun Wukong, and I have him, and then I have 19% speed auras in arena.
Yeah.
So that aura made him very useful. He's got the turn meter increase here that's very useful, and strengthen is a great secondary buff to have on that with the increased attack. Turn meter, yeah, 15% is not amazing, but it's not bad. And again, he then has a great revive. This revive it's hard to describe how good this revive can be, especially if, like, my Alice would go down in Sacred Order, and okay, pick Alice back up, and she gets a free A1 attack, and she still has 50% turn meter on top of it. Yeah, yes, please. That's kind of nice. And the amount of healing that this A1 can pump out, I stuck him in Relentless gear, and he is the reason I was able to farm stage 20 of the event dungeon back when it was pinpoint for the Chaos Awakes event.
Oh, wow.
And just for that alone, I have so much pinpoint gear on this account. So, he transformed my account because he was the right champion at the right time. Now, maybe I might be using Syl instead if I were in a similar situation, but I needed the turn meter boost. The strengthen kept everyone alive. The increased attack gave me some extra damage to get through the wave folks a little bit easier. The revive made sure that it was kind of safe. And then this is a decent heal. And again, I got him fast and relentless. So he basically is regularly doing this and then healing, or revive and then doing the turn meter boost. Just so good. And then, resets his cooldown if you kill somebody with that revive as well. I used him for a little bit of Doom Tower climbing as well, and he was very useful for that. Now, he's not top tier, and he's certainly already fallen off on my account, but when I got him, he was better than I think a lot of people gave him credit for, and I think that he is still a little underrated as a champion in Raid.
Yeah, no, I think you made some really good points. Can I ask, did you book him? Did you put Skeleton?
No, actually, I did book him. Let's go check that out. But I'm pretty sure I didn't book him initially and eventually booked him. But when he was doing when I was doing the event dungeon, he was not booked.
Okay.
And then I eventually booked him while I was doing the event dungeon. And to be fair, I think the one I booked was this ability, but honestly, I was more interested in getting that revive down to 4 turn cooldowns, because I would have been happy with tons of healing and occasionally a little bit of turn meter and strengthen would have been fine with the way I was using him at the time. The healing was actually super critically important. And the fact that we were able to get I got a 3-star soul for this dude because it wasn't that hard to get the 3-star soul. And that makes a huge difference on champions like this too.
Yeah, I'll take a moment at the end here to applaud Polarium. I gotta say, I think these Titan events are ridiculous, going for like the 5th page of rewards, but getting like the 3-star souls is so easy. Like Donatello, I didn't even realize I was getting it. Like I was like, I'm just not even gonna do this. I'll just play my game, and then it's just like boom. It just gets so hard at the end,
Yeah, getting here is fine. Getting here just requires a little bit of paying attention and effort, and you can still basically like pick and choose what you want to do. Because I think I got to, in the Donatello one, I think I got to 1100 on both accounts. And I wasn't trying to finish everything. I skipped most of the summon rushes and whatever else on that. And I still got to whatever was here at the time, which I think was a legendary book. So it was actually a good thing to get to.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you, with Donatello, they say it sent us those bonus points with like those like leading up to the fusion wards. That's the only way I got to 1,000 points. I was cooked. So they came through for me with that legendary relic.
Yeah, and
I love him though. I almost said him, and then I was like, but he didn't even surprise me. I thought he would be so good, so that's why I didn't say him.
Yeah, that was kind of maybe he did a little bit, but honestly, I kind of knew he was going to be really, really good, and it proved he was really good too. And I have no idea what's going on. Oh, there's a thing in the way right there. That's annoying.
It's like,
but yeah, I mean, just the reset champions are so powerful, but I didn't realize this cleanse would be so good, and he does so much healing with this A1. And again, I got him in relentless because that's the only way to get his reset down on that cooldown reduction is to have him just take an extra turn. Very, very good there, and just absolutely enjoy using Donatello. Probably a good honorable mention as we get on the way out of this video. But go check out Fastidious. He's does a lot of fun content. Again, he does the balling on a budget stuff. He's got his Fastidious account. If you ever want to see vicariously live through a whale, that is just that is the, if you want to see absolutely every pull and ridiculous amount of expenditure, that is always fun there. And hopefully he'll be doing more live arena too, because I know he does like the live arena stuff. He just got to do some of that. He's been kind of busy. So
yeah, it's really just come down to that's actually a good place to end. With the live arena, it's just coordinating with Larry, who I share the account with, but it's like his account, it's all his money, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're the plan is like the end of this month. We wanted to hyper focus, because he just was playing more casually, and he wanted to just do his farming and hyper focus on getting all the turtles. But we have all the turtles now. We have everyone now on that account, so I think he wants to get this 5-star Leonardo soul, and then we're gonna get it going again at least twice a week.
Yeah, so that should be fun. So go check out his thing. I'll have links for that down below. Wonderful guy. He also does other games as well, so you can certainly check out some of those other things as well. You'll be able to find those from his channel as well. And honestly, it's nice having a fun new content creator in Raid. So it's definitely been nice having you in Raid. And I mean, we wouldn't be talking like this if that hadn't happened too. So that's been kind of cool.
No, that's one of the best parts. Meeting like you, reconnecting with HWZ, who I knew from my other game. I play a few games, but my main game, Watcher of Realms, our other main game is probably Raid and Watcher at this point. And then Colred. I mean, there's a lot of cool people, but the people I hadn't met or wouldn't have been, rekindled a friendship with. So it's really awesome, and you've helped me a lot along the way. I'll tell you, the way I said that is real. I'd say this month is the first month where I felt like I'm a Raid creator, not just a sponsored creator who has a Raid channel. I think it was the Ninja Turtles. It got me extra into the game again, and definitely I think you felt it too. The views are
Oh, yeah.
crazy since the turtles came out. It's like it feels like a whole new experience.
Yeah, and then of course, like with the Granite Fusion, it just suddenly went because
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Is this Leo news? No, that I don't care. Is this Leo news? No, that I don't care." And we get it,
So
guys.
true.
But appreciate you guys. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Hit his like button and subscribe button as well. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to go film something over on his channel as well, so I'll have links to that. Go check that as well. And it is always great to have wonderful content creators. Raid is one of the best gaming communities in the world that I've ever been a part of. It's just absolutely amazing. Everyone's nice, everyone's friendly. There's a lot of goodwill to everybody. The creators are absolutely amazing as well, and definitely glad to have you a part of that as well. So guys, go check us out, and keep having fun playing Raid Shadow Legends. And until the next video, that over there is Fastidious. I am Bront CatHerder.